Hi, Mike here, and this is a little video I put together for the Avid Forum guys who have been helping me out on the problems with this Avid Flyer. Right now we're just flying straight and level, hands off, and for some reason it's flying okay at the moment. Hands off, flies beautifully, see that? That's not always the case though. Now I'm going to do a turn to the left. Notice that the vario was at 0, speed 75 knots, and the RPM 6000. Now as I get into the turn, it's only about a 30-degree turn, but as I get into it, you can see that I've got to progressively push the ailerons to the right to be able to stop it from turning over too hard, and to keep the ball in the centre. The ball is currently in the centre. Continuing the turn, you can see that I'm going from centre to right all the time with the stick, the ailerons. Instead I should be going from centre to left in a normal turn. It's holding there okay. And it starts to get away again. It starts to head down. So the wing starts to drop, so I've got to put that aileron the opposite direction. And otherwise I'm doing a turn with cross controls. That's basically it. Back level again. Now we're just going to show how the cruise is on this aeroplane. It's supposed to cruise at 80 knots, I was told when I bought it. Currently, I spoke to the man who built it and he said at 5.5, which at 5.4 or 5.5 he said is the cruise RPM, and that it should cruise at 75 knots. Well, at the moment I've got almost 6,000 at the moment. That's why I'm pointing to it, to show you that it's 5.9, almost 6,000, and I'm only getting 73, 74 knots. When I bring it back to 5,500, it's still at 5.9. To give you an idea, that red mark on the vario, which I'm pointing to, is 6,400. So you can see it's just under that. So it's at 6,000 now at the moment. And it's creeping over 6,000. It's at 6,200 at the moment, and I'm not even getting 80 knots. Look at that. 6,200 RPM, which is almost full throttle, and I'm still not getting the vario's at 0, and I'm still just getting 80 knots. And that's not cruising. That's pedal to the metal. So sooner or later I'll bring it back to about 5.5 again. I'm pointing to the vario at 0, and we've got 73 knots there, 74, 75. The RPM is 5.8 at the moment, as you can see. So to give you a rough idea, at 5.5 RPM I get about 70 knots cruise. Now I'm turning right, and as you can see, turning right, it turns okay. As a matter of fact, I'm still turning right. See the airplane turning right? I've got hands off. It flies beautifully to the right. Look at that. The stick's where it should be in the centre and to the right. Isn't it funny? The stick is in the same place for a right hand turn or a left hand turn. Show me an aeroplane that can do that. Now I go to the left, hands off, and no, that was straight and level, hands off, and it's gone into a left turn. And it is not it's not the tab on the rudder either, because I've straightened that tab out on the rudder to stop the aeroplane from because it was tabbed to turn the aeroplane left as well, so that's not good. Might have been alright when the aeroplane was right, the tab was in the right place, but at the moment it's not, because the aeroplane is naturally wanting to turn left, so you don't want to make the rudder turn even further left, do you? No, so I've had to straighten that tab out. That's one of the few things I've done to help make it fly a little bit better. Now it's hands off at the moment. Again, it's starting to slowly turn into the left-hand turn. And when it does turn in the left hand turn, it'll start to descend a little bit as the adverse yaw kicks in and the RPM goes up. There it goes. Big difference from other airplanes I've flown. About 40 of them I've flown, and this is the first one that I've ever struck that flies like this. But it didn't fly like this when I first flew it. Okay, ball centered. We've got 70 knots. There's an example of the cruise. We've got 5,600 RPM, ball centered. We're actually descending slightly on the vario, so that's in favour of the speed, and I was still only getting 70 knots back then. Hands off again, and goes into this spiral left turn. You can see I was almost pointing at the ground then before I corrected it. If you watch the video again, replay it, you'll see at this stage it was almost pointing at the ground. That's how steep down I was going. Hands off again. There she goes. That's heading down at almost 500 foot a minute now. It's 600 foot a minute, 700 foot a minute, 800 feet. That got down to 800 feet a minute going down before I had to correct it. Now we're turning right again. And as you can see, everything's perfect for a right hand turn. Sticks in the right place, vario's at 0, airspeed 70 knots, RPM 5,500. Back to straight and level. Now you might notice too, if you look up to the right hand side at the top, you'll see the EGTs. She's flying hot, look at that. Hands off again. But if you look at those EGTs, you'll see it's up, it's 1200 plus. Just over 1200. It should be flying at 1100. Anyway, hands off, back again into the left hand spiral turn. Anybody thinking that I'm playing funny buggers with my feet on the rudders, all they've got to do is look at the vario and that'll tell you that I'm not going up or down to increase speed or decrease speed, and look at the ball to see that I'm not putting left hand or right hand rudder in. The moment you put especially left hand rudder in this, that ball will go to the extreme other side. When I say extreme, I mean touching the other side of the skid ball rigger there. Alright, what are we doing now? I think we're heading home. No, we're not. We're into another turn. Oh, here's where I'm showing you that I'm turning left, but I've got the stick almost to the full right. Look at that. In the picture, you'll see the right hand stick has gone completely out of screen. Before I started playing around with rudder trims and elevator trims and stuff to get this thing flying a bit better, I had to fly with a stick to the right, flying straight and level, believe it or not. And every now and then it actually happens where I have to do that. Now coming into land, you can see that I've got a very high angle of attack here because of something wrong with it. I don't know. I've got the trim full back for approach speed of 50 knots. I'm about to hit the strip now. I can't see the strip. I can only fly to the right hand side off centre and then skid in like I'm doing now. See me skid in to the left there to be able to, and then straighten up again to land on the strip. Otherwise I can't see it. I see less than what the camera's done. Anyway, there's a nice little landing. All done, boys.